Yes, they are. Specifically speaking, pulse oximeters give wrong oxygen level readings for blacks, Asians, and Hispanics. And the funny thing is, everyone knew about it since 1980s. And forget doing something about it. We based an entire treatment module for the entire pandemic on a faulty instrument. Today, let's understand the pulse oximeter. To understand what the issue is, we will have to understand how the pulse oximeter works. Pulse oximeters work by passing light through a part of the body, usually a finger. These devices infer a patient's blood oxygen saturation from the absorption of light by hemoglobin, the pigment in blood that carries oxygen. In theory, pulse oximeter shouldn't be affected by anything other than oxygen levels in your body. But the research shows otherwise. Melanin, a pigment that is responsible for our skin color, can affect the transmittance of light through our skin. Researchers used data from over 7,000 COVID-19 patients in the Johns Hopkins hospital system between March 2020 and November 2021. In the first part of the study, researchers compared blood oxygen saturation for over 1,200 patients. Measurements were taken by two methods: pulse oximeter and arterial blood gas analysis. Both analyze blood oxygen saturation, but blood gas analysis is more direct analysis of the blood. The researchers found that the pulse oximeter overestimated the blood oxygen saturation by an average of 1.7% for Asian patients, 1.2% for black patients, and 1.1% for Hispanic patients. Then, the researchers used these results to create a statistical model to estimate what the arterial blood gas measurements would be for the patients with only pulse oximeter measurements. To qualify for COVID-19 treatment with remdesivir, the patient had to be under the oxygen saturation of 94%. Based on the researchers' model, nearly 30% of the 6,673 patients met this cutoff. Many of these patients, most of whom were black or Hispanics, had their treatments delayed by 5 to 7 hours. This delay happened because the patients had to wait until their pulse oximeters gave the readings below 94%, where in reality their levels were already below 94%. There were 451 patients who never qualified for the treatment, but the researchers say they should have. 55% of these 451 were blacks and 27% were Hispanics. This study proves that we need to move away from pulse oximeters as a blood saturation measurement. Despite this knowledge, there aren't many ways to address this issue. We need new technology with a different method altogether, or we need new devices which can work around the skin color limitation. But why is this so? Why we don't have these new methods or new devices? The answer is twofold. We don't have a better monitoring system that can give us results quickly on a large scale. And the reason why we don't have this is because it primarily affects blacks, Hispanics, and Asians. I'm not saying they are being racist about it, but medical solutions follow a simple rule: research. Solutions are acquired through research, and these researches require money, a lot of money. And historically, these subgroups of people never had enough money to invest in medical solutions. Hence, most of the research that was done was on Caucasians. So here we are. 85% of the world population works and follows the parameters of 15% of Caucasians. The good news is the solution is easy. You want the solution for the issue? Invest money into it. Wasn't prevention better than the cure?